Okay. Looking good. Everything's up. Chat. Just need to pull chat up. Shrink it down and move it over. This will be a short stream, folks. Don't worry. And I'm kind of throwing it together, as you might expect, last minute. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't see until this very moment that there's a story trailer for Elden Ring, the DLC that just popped out. And I had to share this with you folks. So, holy shit, there's a story trailer. Holy shit, there's a story trailer. Holy shit, there's a story trailer. I didn't see this till just now. So, let's get to it. Okay, yeah. Okay. Pulling something from a tree? Or a womb, it looks almost like? Okay. Marika? Light and dark. Okay. That inglorious, that desperate, that miserable. Ah. Oof. Whatever that is. I'm still holding that that's the root of the Erd tree, or at least a lower area. To do what? A month out. 30 days. I should have expected a month out they'd send to give us a bit more to chew on. Alright. Gods. Amazing. Alright. Let's step back and let's now go pick across what they're telling us. Okay. So, first up, the usual title, the title screen. And the first thing we see, sort of like a gold bracelet pulling something out of... Alright. Strands of gray. Of gold. So, perhaps this is Marika pulling some of the golden power from the Erd tree? and then the phrasing. Seduction and betrayal. Two things that we have known Marika for. If you look at the item, the veil that lets you turn into items in the background, it mentions, or it's also called Marika's Mischief, where she's known for deceiving and deceiving opponents. So it wouldn't be surprising that the Mesmer's fall at Marika's hand is from her seducing him with temptations of power or something else to then turn on them. An affair from which gold arose. So it would be the rise, because I'm seeing gold hair here. So this is either, I'm believing either Marika or Mikola themselves pulling. If it's Mikola, I suppose it's pulling strands of gold, maybe from their own tree, maybe from Mikola's Halig tree, or from the... Wait, look in the background. Those are hands and arms. So what that would tell me is more than likely, this would likely be Marika pulling from the Erd tree, because, well, you know, from every area where, you know, the undead are buried, or you die in the catacombs, when you get to the end, there's the roots consuming the people, the bodies of people, returning them to the Erd tree's roots. I would want to believe that's that, but we'll have to see. Still. Alright. But yeah, the rise of gold amid the slaughter. Just, this is a pile of corpses. Just all together and left behind. Okay. And so too was Shadowborn. So the order of the Erd tree, the Golden Order, that was born, and then the Order of Shadow was born in its, well, shadow. Again, I have to believe that most of what we're seeing for the areas has got to be something like an underground area we're not able to access yet, near the Erd tree. I cannot believe this is not near that, especially with that, like, broken Erd tree thing we see above this entire area. All right. Okay, the fire giants. The fire giants, you know, just an army. A figure stabbed multiple times and the soldiers just moving on past it. The person being either betrayed or simply just discarded. My first instinct, though, is to take a look at this, and honestly, it reminds me of the slaughter of Zamor, and the fact that every Zamor that you find is covered in chains and that are broken. So I wonder if maybe these are the people who slaughtered the Zamor and enslaved them. A purge without grace or honor. It would make sense then that, yeah, no, it would make sense then that they would cover up afterwards. Marika banished him or defeated Mesmer, maybe? Okay. This thing. The only thing is, this monster, whatever it is attacking the soldiers. Again, someone is here burning, but they don't care. They're so distraught. I don't know if this is spear through them or they're cradling it. I can't tell from this angle. And there, you can see this thing is just attacking the soldiers. And again, the hand is holding the mouth, meaning it doesn't have full articulation of all of its parts. And there it's lunging at Mesmer. So I don't believe this thing is actually one of Mesmer's servants, or it's probably what's been one of the things that got slaughtered by Mesmer's group. And it will just be getting in the way and basically being, the way we are is, oh, just another enemy. But for him, it's probably trying to lash out at whatever it thinks is attacking Mesmer. Alright. Mesmer's flame. And again, we see that black and red. The profane, similar to the profaned flame, or the aberrant flame, rather. Yeah. And we know fire in general is considered blasphemous to the order of the Erd Tree. So, by and large, are we looking at what allowed the Volcano Manor to take up the residence? Maybe the Volcano Manor is just simply resting in the remains of what was Mesmer's kingdom until since he was banished. That wouldn't be surprising. And yeah, just impaled figures. Yeah, Mesmer the Impaler. The city beyond burning. And we can see that and with this scene, we can see that the tops of the building here are ascending. Like they're being sucked up into the Erd Tree. Or whatever this is. Now, there's another option that's not the Erd Tree's roots. That's underneath the Halig Tree. Which is which wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. Because if you think about it, the Halig Tree's positioning seems a little random. Like, genuinely. Why did he go out of his way if he was just looking to make another, Erd Tree, when there are so many Erd Tree smaller ones and lesser ones all over the place? Why did Miquella have to go across the entire consecrated snowfield to find it? To found his city, to found that place. So if to do what? Symbols of Miquella that are around. Yeah. So he abandoned his body. Okay. So his golden body, we know, is in Mog's care. It's in the cocoon. His blinding strength. Would that have been what is supporting the Halig Tree? So he abandoned both. His body, his strength. Even his fate as a Empyrean, relinquishing his right to to become Elden Lord, leaving that with probably Melania, telling her he probably was trying to get her to push herself beyond and become the next Elden Lord. He relinquished his right. But we are not deterred. So these are the most stubborn and dedicated knights of Miquella, possibly looking to resurrect them? We choose to follow. And we see here there are various... Oh shit. Are these the remaining Knights of the Round Table? Oh. Some of the armor designs would lead me to believe these are some of the remaining Knights of the Round Table. Because it always is odd that we see so few of them Round Table members. They left the lands between to the lands of shadow to look for Miquella, the next rightful lord. Because Godfrey's gone. Godwyn is now the Prince of Death and dead. So Miquella and Melania would be the next. Miquella would probably be the next up in pursuit, and I could see the Knights of the Round Table trying everything to pull him back. Melania has no interest. She just wants to support her brother, so she would have brushed off the knights, telling them, no, Miquella's the one who will be Elden Lord, not me. Oh, that is... Are these the Knights of the Round? Ooh. I mean, there's also... These are probably all just armor designs we'll get amidst the DLC, but still. Ooh, the plot implications of the rest of the Round Table had actually already departed for the Lands of Shadow. Ooh. Yeah. I'm gonna believe that. From the designs and the way they're standing, they're following Miquella's footsteps, and they've been lost into the Land of Shadows ever since. The question becomes then, there's one last question that remains for me. Why do we have to get here through Mohg? What did Mohg reach out to? Is Bloodflame is the Bloodflame actually the original power? Or, I mean, Bloodflame and whatever flame that Mesmer is using. I mean, could it be that that's how Mohg learned to use Bloodflame? Or got access to it? Whew. No. All right. Another month away. All right. The usual advertising bits. Just trying to think if there's anything else I really... Okay. fair from which... Oh. Oh. Not just the Zamor. How much do you want to bet? Spoke of the begin. Kindly Mikola spoke of the beginning, where Marika seduced and betrayed. I mean, as much as you would love to say Godfrey, because she calls him, uses him to establish herself as Elden Lord, and then banishes him and his. To see that as a betrayal, it's very simple, but I don't think that's what they're talking. That's the one she betrayed. I think it was Mesmer. And what I'm imagining is who she used is she allied herself with Mesmer, and he slaughtered for the purge that they're talking about the Godskin, the queen of Black Flame. I'm willing to bet it was her. That's a battle that was not sung. Because the war between Marika's forces and the Queen of the Black Flame with the Godskin nobles is largely brushed over. We know it happened. We know that they did have conflict and fight. And we know that Marika basically had managed to win and then sealed the Rune of Death, leaving Malekith as just its guard dog, basically, to create and expand her Golden Order. Where the Black Flame Queen could invoke death on anyone. So Marika basically used the power of the Golden Order rules to say, no, I will not die. That's thus becoming Queen Marika the Eternal, where it goes, I cheated death. Alright. And I imagine she did so with Mesmer's help, only to betray Mesmer and cast him into the land of shadow. Because very likely in my mind, I mean, this right here, I mean, I can't think of more fertile grounds for the Erd Tree itself than that much death. Because at the end of the day, we know that's what the Erd Tree feeds on, is death. It's the reason why you find golden runes in coffins all across the map. It's because golden runes are basically a distillation of death defied. Yeah. Yeah. It would have to be like the Godskin basically were slaughtered to a man. And the only reason we have any Godskin nobles left is just because they're just the scant few survivors. Yeah. And actually, that would make some sense. You remember how the Godskin, like their clothing is, saggy and they can control it, but it's obviously not part of them. That's probably something similar to what this creature is. And it's one of the survivors from the slaughter. Huh. That's one interpretation, anyway. Hmm. I mean, if that. So perhaps the place we're going, this area on the shadow of the Erd Tree, perhaps it's a case of she trapped him. Mesmer went to attack the Black Flame Queen and won, and his reward was the door slamming shut behind him. And that initial bit that we're seeing, this was the gate. The gate had to be. The gate would have to require so much death, so many dead to accomplish an open. Which would make sense with Mohg's palace. The Palace of Blood is absolutely steeped in corpses. It's ridiculous. The amount of dead for the amount of blood that you would have to have that flows as much across the would be staggering. Yeah. So it's got to be a case of you have to have so much death to be able to connect to it. Death and divine influence, perhaps? And then we get to the second. And then Mikola being too kind, or seemingly kind, relinquished everything so that Mikola relinquished so someone else could take their place. Hmm. It's interesting. And again, Golden Flesh, we already know Mohg has. Blinding Strength, more than likely is what's supporting the entire thing of his Halic tree. The only but his left behind strength is waning, unfortunately allowing Melania's strength, the rot, to manifest and spread across the entire tree. So we're going to be retracing Mikola's steps. Will you follow with us? Mikola's steps leading to... I mean, what we'll find of him won't be much of anything. But I wonder. That leaves me to wonder, A, is this going to unlock a new ending? Or B, is it something we can do with the blast blooming of Melania? Imagine if he gives us a seed that we can plant in the flower of Melania's final bloom, and the twins become one. And that unlocks a new ending. Where maybe we face not Radigan of the Golden Order, but we face Marika in her true form, and try to undo her plans. Just a thought. Well, only time will tell, folks. 30 days and counting. Anyway, saw this, had to do a little quick video, just in case, because, my God, I'm so excited, can't wait. Another month. Anyway, folks, thank you all for joining me. I have been the Ephemeral One, and this was just a bit more of Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree story trailer. Thank you all. I'll see you next time. Bye for now, folks. Bye for now.